Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. So my name is, sorry, let's see if you can see me. My name is Veronica Lopez. I'm one of the business counselor managers here at Pace Business. Welcome to today's webinar, Empowering Small Businesses, Business Essential Technology Tools for Business Growth with Finley. I will be your facilitator and host. And today with us, we have Mackenzie Brissy with Finley, and she will be our main speaker. And first, a little bit more about PACE. We do want to get to know our audience a little bit better. So if you can enter in the chat box, your business industry, and perhaps where are you, you know, communicating from. So your city would be good. I know if we sometimes we get international clients, so feel free to enter if you're out of country. But yeah, it's just business industry, and then your location, city is good. So to start, let's see if I can get the next slide working. Okay, so PACE Business Development Center was established in 1993 to advance the wealth of our communities by giving individuals the tools to develop sustainable businesses, manage their personal and business finances successfully. PACE is a Los Angeles-based nonprofit organization. And our core services include workforce development, early childhood education, energy and environmental services, affordable housing, and of course, business development or the business center. We are designated by the city of Los Angeles is a BusinessSource Center. We cover two regions, Pico-Union, Westlake, and Hollywood region. We also offer through the city of Los Angeles, Procure LA, which is procurement services to assist you with bidding for contracts, contract review, contracts to support, and then also connecting with primes and registering on the different portals for procurement, such as like the city of LA or the county or the state. Through our Women's Business Center, we offer also technical assistance, and also through our Cal OSPA Governor's Office of Small Business Economic Development, short, it's called GoBiz. And through the U.S. Department of Minority Business Development, we offer the MBDA program, which is also procurement services for business over 500,000 in revenue. We are a CDFI, Community Development Financial Institution, approved through the U.S. Treasury. We are SBA, Community Advantage lender, and we're also a CalCap lender. Today, I just want to kind of give you an overview of the services that we offer. So we offer one-on-one consultation, anything from covering license and permits, marketing essentials. We also provide referrals to one of our legal partner, Bitsadec. And then we also offer a myriad of different services to support your small business. We offer an entrepreneurial training program twice a year in person, and now we're going to be offering it online. We also offer additional workshops, and I'm going to mention the next upcoming workshop after today's. And then, as I mentioned, we do small business financing from 500 to 350,000. What's special about PACE as a CDFI is that we assist startups. Traditionally, a bank does not work with startups. Usually, we're a traditional bank, you need at least 3 years. So that's what makes PACE special, makes us stand out. For employee or hiring workforce development through our WorkSource Center, they do on-the-job training, and they also cover an employee's salary for that on-the-job training for either 6 or maybe up to a year. They cover up to half of the employee's salary. There's some perks of working with PACE. In addition, we have staff that assist with over 12 languages. So our next upcoming webinars, next week, Tuesday, is the Financial Bootcamp for Small Business Owners. It's part of a actually a 4-part series, the ABCs of Bookkeeping and Accounting. And then following week, we have the employment law for small businesses, so protecting your small business, deep dive into California employment law. So that's also a second part. The first part, they talked about employee benefits. You can feel free to scan the code there. And also, as you attend this webinar, you will be added to our subscription, to e-subscription. So you'll get more information on that later as well. So with that, I want to give a warm welcome to our guest today. And then also I will be checking the chat and checking the Q&A for any questions, and I will be passing those during uh, Mackenzie's presentation. So with that, I'll pass, I guess, the baton or the floor to you, Mackenzie.
Amazing. Thank you, Veronica. And thank you guys all so much for joining this afternoon. I was taking a look through the chat and it sounds like you guys all have such amazing businesses here in Southern California and across the country, many of whom look like they could be a great fit for some of the tools that we're offering to you guys complimentary today. So super excited to be connecting with you all. To give you a little bit of background, and I know that Veronica has obviously already touched on a little bit of this, but we are very passionate about supporting small businesses for a couple good reasons that I'll walk through. But first and foremost, we just really applaud all of the hard work of the small business owners. There are so many of them here in the United States and so many that have been created over the past 5 years. I think we can probably all agree that most of our friends and maybe even colleagues have businesses that they're running on the side of their full-time careers or full-time small business owners. Just seen such an influx in new businesses that have been created over the past 5 years. And one of the things that really jumps out to me about most of the small business owners that we work with and many of the ones that we know is they are spending a whole heck of a lot of time each week on really manual tasks that come along with running their business. Probably a lot of tasks and a lot of hours that they didn't anticipate maybe when they were first going into business. Many of the businesses that we support, martial arts studios and event planners and construction groups, they got into those businesses because they love teaching martial arts or they love planning events or they love building things, not because they really love following up on overdue payments from their clients and, sending out invoices and doing a lot of the manual work that's involved in running a small business. And so here at Finli, we are really on a mission to supercharge the small business owners that we work with. And we're really dedicated to providing trusted financial tools for small businesses across the US. These slides were a little bit out of order, so I'll take a step back here. One of the things that we know about small businesses is they are currently cobbling together a whole lot of different solutions in order to try to run the day-to-day businesses that they're managing. They have to figure out how to collect payments from customers. They have to keep track of all of their customers and their inventory. They have to figure out how to track things like refunds and offer professional invoices and give quotes and follow up on estimates in a timely manner and make sure that they're kind of covering all of these different bases, wearing so many different hats on a day-to-day basis to try and keep their business running. And one of the things that I find to be most insane about this is they are spending on average $340 a month on all of these different tools just to stand up their business and manage some of the day-to-day operations. And even for larger businesses, that's a pretty significant amount of money each month. And so we're really on a mission to help consolidate a lot of those existing tools, give small businesses, the tools that they need to be successful and the tools that they need to help run their business without having to spend so much time and money each month making that happen. So a bit of an overview of how we're going to spend our time today. I'm first going to go over kind of an overview of all of the features that we have available on our platform. Then we'll jump into a live demo and absolutely have some time, throughout the presentation and also at the end for Q&A. And I know that this was mentioned in some of the marketing materials beforehand, but all of you, by joining this conversation today, are eligible to receive a free 1-year membership to our platform, which is offered complimentary from JP Chase. So we're super excited about our partnership with them. I'll send the link to the landing page as we are going through here so that you guys can get signed up and create your free account and start to play around with it. But we'll spend the majority of the time today walking through the different ways that we can support your business and maybe from that previous slide, some of those things that we can offer for you guys and help give you a little bit of time back every single week and hopefully some money as well. All right. So first things first, really the core offering that we provide to the small businesses that we work with is a way for them to easily collect payments from their customer and keep track of all of those payments through an entire digital payment management system. So we have professional online invoices that our system creates in a matter of, I'd say minutes, but it's maybe more like seconds, that you can send out to your customers through either email or SMS, and then be able to collect payment from your customers securely. That means no more, or you can continue to use them, but hopefully fewer cash, checks, maybe Venmo transactions or other payments that you're collecting from different systems, and also a way to securely collect those payments, without having to assume the liability of, taking credit card information over the phone or things like that. We offer customers a couple different ways to make those payments: ACH, credit card, Apple Pay. We're always launching new payment methods to our platform, and we make it cost effective to do so. So there are no processing fees when you process payments through our platform. ACH is always 100% free, and credit card payments do carry a 3% processing fee, but that can be passed along to your customers. So you have the ability to offer multiple digital payment options to your customers, and they can make the choice which payment option they'd like to opt for. There are, a few different providers that offer digital payments, but what most small businesses don't realize is that they're actually honestly getting nickel and dimed from these different payment providers. Some of them charge 4 to 5% in transaction fees on every single payment. And we've seen so many small businesses that, look back at the end of the year when they were working with their accountant or bookkeeper and getting things together, and they've realized that they've spent thousands of dollars that year just on transaction fees, just on the ability to collect digital payments from their customers. And I think you guys can all agree that digital payments is something that consumers and your customers have come to expect in today's day and age. And it's really difficult for small businesses to spin that up in a lot of instances. So we've made a very simple and easy to use platform that helps you guys stand that up and collect those payments securely. We also, built into that entire payment management system, handle automatically sending out receipts to all of your customers. We track all of those receipts in our systems, and we also give you the option to handle refunds within our system as well. So all of that is tracked. And I saw a question here in the chat about QuickBooks. All of it is sent immediately over to your accounting system. So whatever system maybe your bookkeepers are requiring that you use, Finli integrates with. So all of that payment data in real time is sent over to your accounting system. Yes, and we can touch on that a little bit later, and I'll show you guys how easy it is to set up that integration. But payments are really our bread and butter here, and one that you probably spend a ton of time on each week. As part of that, we also have a full CRM that's built in. So maybe some of you guys are currently tracking your customer lists, maybe in your contacts of your phone or email or an Excel sheet or maybe some other CRM system. But one of the things that we've noticed and heard a lot from small businesses is those systems don't necessarily talk to all of your other systems. And it's really difficult to get a glimpse into the holistic, a holistic snapshot of what your customers, how they're interacting with your business and where they are in the process of working with your business. So with Finli, we have a full CRM that's built into the platform. You can very easily store your customers' contact information, securely upload, attachments and documents, and easily view all of their payments and invoices and quotes all in one place. On top of that, we also have an entire pricing and inventory management system as well. So maybe some of you, do keep physical stock of goods that you're selling to customers. I used the martial arts studio example earlier. They're, billing customers for maybe monthly subscriptions or individual service hours. And then they also sell t-shirts or sell some of the other, martial arts equipment. And because of that, they don't need an entire, $2,000 a year inventory management system. That doesn't make sense for them as a small business. So Finli has a built-in inventory management system right into our invoicing experience. So you can be notified when you're running low on physical stock, and also see the inventory that you have on hand when you're sending out those quotes and invoices, so you can be tracking that in real time. Speaking of those quotes and proposals, we have a quote management system built into the platform as well, so you can secure approval from your customers on estimates. This is secure, so we authenticate each of your customers when they're going to approve that quote, so you can be sure that who you've sent the quote to is who is actually approving it. And then once a quote is approved, it can be immediately converted into an invoice that's ready to accept that payment that we touched on earlier. So really just streamlining this entire process from start to finish for the small businesses that we work with, and also allowing them to send out, estimates and proposals in a really professional way very quickly. There are a couple other providers, in this space. I mentioned QuickBooks earlier, and we talked about some of those transaction fees. Most of these providers do not give you the option to pass on those processing fees to your customers. So, with someone like Autobooks, you're again paying hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a year, 3.5%, processing fee for just accepting credit card payments, which can be really cost prohibitive for a small business. And then I've seen a couple questions about QuickBooks here, which we can definitely touch on. QuickBooks is, at its core, an accounting system, and some of these other ones are as well. Autobooks is primarily an accounting software, and they also allow you to send out invoices and collect payments. But because those systems are set up as accounting softwares, they really don't have the most user-friendly invoicing experience, and definitely not the most business-friendly pricing model in terms of those transaction fees and some of the other ways that they're doing business. As far as QuickBooks being redundant, it's not. So you can use both Finli and QuickBooks. I'm assuming, many of your bookkeepers require that you use QuickBooks for end-of-year accounting. But I think we can all agree that QuickBooks invoicing experience leaves a lot to be desired. It's not only expensive, but pretty time consuming to send out those invoices, really difficult to track. Many of them don't have, many of these providers don't have automatic, recurring invoices. So it's really hard to manage subscriptions or maybe clients that you're billing on a regular basis. And they absolutely do not have inventory management or CRM tools or, refund management built into the platform. And so while they meet some needs, you're still left having to go and supplement with other systems, which again is very expensive for a business every single month. We'll get more into kind of what the platform looks like during our demo and walk through a lot of these different features, but just right off the bat, quick overview. Any questions or anything that we specifically want to focus on during the demo here? Another question about QuickBooks. We integrate with QuickBooks Online. I don't believe the desktop version, well, I apologize, the offline version of QuickBooks where you're actually downloading the software to your computer. I don't believe that one supports any integrations, but QuickBooks Online where you can log in on your desktop on the web browser, that one has a wide variety of integrations, and we're one of them. Awesome. Okay, great. Well, let me switch over here. I'm just going to share my screen on another tab so I can jump in and show you all the platform here. One moment while I get this pulled up. And I appreciate you guys being so active in the chat and asking questions already. It makes my job much easier. Great to have a more interactive session. Okay, so this is what the Finli portal looks like. It is a very clean, easy to use platform, and it's very quick to get set up and get things up and running. So we'll walk through what that process looks like. As I mentioned, over on the left-hand side, you can see some of those features that I touched on earlier. Our invoicing and quoting experience, our payment management system, our full CRM and pricing and inventory management. One of the things that I didn't touch on, during the presentation earlier is our pay by links feature. This is actually another way to collect payment through our portal that's separate from our invoicing and quoting experience. So if you collect donations, if you're a nonprofit, or maybe customers, send you one-off payments that don't really justify creating a whole invoice for and sending out. This is a digital, it's like almost a virtual terminal where your customers can come in and select any payment amount that they'd like. They can go ahead and either pay using a bank account or credit card, and they can make that payment one time. They can schedule weekly or monthly recurring payments and just very quickly send you money that way. So it kind of operates more similar. The example I like to give, it's more similar to like a Venmo profile. If there's any use cases where your customers are making one-time payments to you, maybe a deposit for something, but all of it is still tracked within our payment management system. So can't imagine being a small business owner and, at the end of each day or week, scrolling through all my Venmo transactions and trying to figure out who's paid me and who's had. So all of that is tracked right within Finli in here. So I'll show you all what the invoicing experience looks like. It's very easy to get started. All you do is add a customer, and we do support bulk invoicing. So you can send the same invoice to multiple customers at once. I'm sorry, we call it batch invoicing. I will add the customer here, create the invoice. I can set this as either a one-time or recurring invoice. So if I want this to repeat every week or month, for 12 months or something like that, I can go ahead and set all that up here. For right now, we'll just create this as a one-time invoice, and I can select the due date when I need to collect payment by, the issue date when the invoice becomes active and payable, and the invoice dates, which are kind of a flexible field. You can use that to reflect maybe the period of service or the date of service. And as you can see in real time, this is all populating over on the right-hand side of our invoice preview here. This is the logo that I've added, but that's customizable within your business settings. So again, just this is moving along quite quickly here. I can go ahead and add the items to my invoice that I'm planning to bill a customer for. This is a flower shop that I'm using here. So we have an event setup and cleanup fee. I'm charging them for, some flowers for the lobby. I'm also going to do a couple small custom arrangements that are all in, looks like I'm out of stock on the white vases. So I'll go ahead and use our glass vases here. I can then customize each of these items. So we just charge, the setup and cleanup fee once, but I'll throw a discount on this one because they're a new customer. I can then go ahead and customize each of these items, and we'll do 5 small custom arrangements in 5 of our glass vases. And I can add those all to the invoice. And right away, again, this is all populating over in that preview on the right-hand side. I can move these around. I can add discounts to each of these items individually, or I can add discounts to the entire invoice or surcharges as a whole. We're also working on a tax module that will be released by the end of this year. So we'll also support adding, sales and service taxes here as well. Speaking of those payment options that we discussed earlier, I can choose who would pay the credit card processing fee for this invoice, either my business or my customers. I would venture to say most of the small businesses that we work with opt to pass this fee along to their customers. And I'll show you all in a second. That's very visibly called out on the invoice for your customers. So they'll see that if they choose to make a payment with ACH, it's completely free, or they can opt to make that payment with a credit card and take on that 3% fee themselves. We then have pretty flexible communication settings and preferences. So I can choose if I want to notify this customer by either email or cell phone. I can choose the date that I want them to be notified of this invoice. And I can also CC additional recipients if I'm sending it over email. Or I can turn off automatic notifications, and we'll get the unique link for this invoice that I can send out, in maybe a different email that I'm sending to a customer, or again, I'm putting that in a proposal with a whole bunch of other items, and I can include that there. I can also add an invoice message and go ahead and send this off. And within I don't know, I think that was about 2 minutes. And I was stopping for demo time. We have a professional invoice that's been sent over to Carl. I then am able to see a whole history of what's happened on this invoice. So we can see when it was created and when the notification was sent to Carl. As soon as a payment is collected here, or as soon as Carl opens his email and looks at this invoice, I'll see that pop up here on the invoice history as well. And I can see, of course, a history of any payments that were collected, any refunds that were made, anything, if the invoice was edited, all of that will get logged over in this invoice history. I can download the PDF for my records if I'd like. And this is what the invoice looks like for Carl. So he'll come on here. Again, he can see that the credit card payment does carry a 3% processing fee, or if he's, going to use a bank account, he'll see those differences pop up over there. He can easily view the invoice and download that for his records, and he can see the details of everything that's included. He'll also see the contact information for your business. So this is just a test email here, but I'll have a way of getting in touch with your business if he has any questions. And he can go ahead and make payment now, schedule it for the due date, or enroll in auto pay. What auto pay is anytime your business sends an invoice to a customer, if they've enrolled in auto pay, we'll go ahead and automatically process that payment right off the bat for them. So they don't have to worry about making those payments, and you don't have to get worried. You don't have to worry about getting paid on time. That's something they can turn off at any point. And we always send them notifications when those auto payments are getting processed.
Mackenzie, we have a question. Are you able to attach documents when sending an invoice?
That is a great question. Right now, we do not allow you to upload documents onto the invoice itself, but you can add them for storage, within the customer profile, which I'll show you all how to do a little bit later. Or if you were sending, if you were taking this link and copying it and sending it over email, obviously you can attach the attachments over email that way. I also saw a question, about adding taxes. Yes. So that module will be added by the end of the year. So we'll be able to support, adding tax to any invoices as well. And then the payment types that we offer right now, ACH, so bank-to-bank payments, any credit or debit card payments. We also support Apple Pay as well. So if I had been looking at this on Safari or on my mobile phone, I would see that Apple Pay option as well. Okay, I am going to jump in over here. Oh, actually, I'm so sorry. I completely forgot. So any of your customers can make a payment on this invoice like I've just shown. However, if they pay you outside of Finli, you can also track and record that within our system. So maybe your customer did pay you over Venmo or through cash in person. We can go ahead and log that payment. This invoice will automatically move to being paid. I can go ahead and send a receipt to this customer or download the receipt. And if they were to come back to this invoice, they would see that it's paid. They'd be able to view their receipt. We can see that the payment method was cash and what date that was collected on, or I can download or print any of that. So all of that is handled automatically. It's not something that your business has to even think about or worry about. All of it is sent to your customers right away.
Mackenzie,
And then,
there's a question. Do you keep a payment history for the clients or for the customers?
yes. So if that's actually just where I was about to hop in here.
Oh, good.
So for the payment management system, this is what it looks like. There's that payment that I collected and logged through cash here. All the previous payments that I've collected, either through Finli or outside of Finli, are all tracked within the payment management system. Again, I can easily send or download receipts for any of them. If these were payments that had been collected through Finli, again, ACH, credit card, Apple Pay, I'd be able to also issue a refund within the system here as well. And we support both full and partial refunds. So all of it's tracked and all of it gets sent over to your accounting system the second the action takes place here in Finli. What I can also show, let's see if I have this configured properly to do this. I don't usually demo this side of things, but okay, I have. We also do allow your customers to create free accounts with Finli. They don't have to. They can make payment through Finli without creating an account. But if they do want to create an account to store their payment method or to enroll in auto pay or to keep track of, a history of all of their payments, they can do that. And this is what their portal looks like. So they'll see all the payments that they've made previously. They can view the payment, easily download the receipt, or view the invoice that was attached to that payment. They can view a complete invoice history. So all the businesses that they have, received invoices from in the past and whether or not they're paid, any quotes that they've received in the past. And of course they can, store all those, payment methods in here and keep track of security and everything. So the portal for them is pretty basic. It's basically just so they can view that payment and invoice history. Okay, let me jump back into the business side of things here. The other thing that I do like to call out is we allow two things. One, you as an individual to have as many businesses as you want on here that you're managing. So if you have multiple locations or multiple businesses that you're running, we make it really easy to switch between all of them. And if you have multiple employees that work for your business, or maybe a couple different folks that are helping out with customers or invoicing, it's a completely collaborative platform too. So you can add different team members to your account, and they'll all be able to collaborate on those invoices and view the payment information, things like that. Also within your business settings is where you can go ahead and connect any of those integrations. Right now it's QuickBooks that's connected. It's very simple to set up. You essentially just connect, log in and authenticate your account and you're good to go. Also within your business settings, I mentioned this earlier, but you can customize your logo or the way that any of your information shows up. You also can customize that link, the pay by link that I mentioned earlier. So you can make this URL whatever you want it to be, and keep track of all of that within here. I'll quickly show the quoting experience because it's very similar to invoicing. Essentially, you add a customer, add a couple of items, add any discounts or surcharges. And again, same thing, control those communication preferences and go ahead and send that off. You can then track in the quote management system, how many quotes you have that are in draft or that have been sent but haven't been approved yet. We can resend and send reminders for all of those very easily. And then once any of those once any of those quotes have been approved, a little button will pop up here that you can click convert to invoice. And then you can send out the invoice and it's ready to collect payment on. So really just streamlining this process from start to finish. We can see a couple of the ones that have already been invoiced, and then we make it easy for you to click in here and actually view that invoice and see where that is too. So we can see that this was an invoice that was created and converted from a quote previously. So again, making it really easy for your business to track all of the outstanding proposals and estimates that you have, follow up on those and convert those into new business, and then make it really easy to collect payment once that happens. Jumping into the customer view here, we'll take a look at what the CRM looks like. So as I've mentioned previously, you have the ability to, of course, store all of that contact information. You can see if the customers are on auto pay. You can add, different tags to organize them. You can also add different projects that you're working on with each customer. And then within your quotes and invoices, you can use those projects to kind of organize the items that are in the invoices. So you can section them out into these, we call them service for categories. So an example of this would be, that martial arts studio is billing a parent for 2 or 3 children. They can set each of those children up as different projects and then organize the items in one invoice, according to those projects. And then again, allowing you to securely upload maybe any waivers or previous quotes or proposals that you've sent, or any agreements that you've signed to the customer profile. And then again, within that same tab, you're able to see the entire payment history with that customer, any invoices that they've received or might be past due on. There's quite a few for Carl. Maybe I shouldn't provide him any more services until he pays some of these. And then any of those previous quotes that he's received, and also kind of in a separate area, any of those ongoing, recurring invoices that are happening on a monthly, daily basis. So at a glance and very quickly, you can get a pretty holistic understanding of, this customer's relationship to your business. And again, here's where some of that organization comes into play with the tags and auto pay settings and things like that. When you're first getting started with our system, we make it really easy for you to bulk import all of your customers from whatever other system you're using, whether that's an Excel sheet or, another software. So you can get all this set up pretty quickly. And we offer the same functionality for our pricing items as well. So again, being able to bulk import all those price items. This is where the taxes module will live when that launches in a couple weeks here. So this pricing management system makes it really easy for you to keep track of all of the different items or services that you're billing customers for. I hear a lot, small businesses have a really difficult time, categorically updating their pricing because they don't really have a uniform system for offering pricing. So this is a really important solution for that. And of course, we have that inventory management piece built in as well. So you can see earlier, I sent out an invoice for 5 glass vases and I had 16 on hand. That got updated in real time, now down to 11. And if that number had gone below 10, I should have sent out an invoice for 10. It's then flagged as being low stock, and I receive an email notification letting me know that it's time to order more inventory. When I do, I can very easily update the quantity on hand, and it'll show me the last time that inventory was updated, and of course now the new quantity on hand. And as you guys all saw earlier, you can see all those quantities when you're in the invoicing and quoting experience, so you know how much stock you have on hand, whether or not you should be selling that to a customer right now.
Mackenzie, we have a question.
Yep.
Does Finli offer a payroll service?
Great question. We do not currently offer a payroll service. It's something that is on our radar, but is not something that we currently have built within the platform. I know Pace has, I think, a couple different partners that do offer payroll services.
Yes, yes.
Generally, those are integrated with your accounting system than necessarily like the receivables platform.
Okay. To add, I will be emailing all of the attendees the list of potential payroll services. But I can mention a few like SurePay and Gusto are very popular with our clients.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and both of those integrate with QuickBooks as well, or other accounting systems that you're using. So you can think about Finli as the client-facing experience that you're offering your customers. So all the ways that you're collecting payments, all the ways that you're interacting with your customers, all of that then, funnels into your accounting system, and you're probably running payroll out of your accounting system or maybe out of a different payroll system that's integrated to your accounting system. But those systems, talking to each other is very important.
Okay.
Awesome. I think we've covered most of the items that I had on my list here. We've gotten some great questions throughout the call, which is amazing. Let me send over the link here to everyone. This is our landing page for the partnership with JP Morgan Chase. If you do choose to create an account, again, the first year is completely complimentary, and that's offered by JP Morgan Chase. We're hoping to extend the partnership, so I am optimistic that it will continue being free after that point as well. If not, we're a very affordable solution. But again, first year is covered by JP Morgan Chase. You can sign up using that specific link there. So if you do plan to check out the platform, please make sure that you do it through that link that's in the chat. If you sign up through our website, the subscription will not be covered. So please make sure you do it through that link there. And the sign-up process is very simple, very easy to get started. So we're super excited to be offering these services to the PACE community, again, through JPMorgan Chase, and really appreciate everybody's time. Happy to stay on and continue answering more questions if there are any, but you guys have really led me in the right direction here, and I think we've covered the bulk of it. So I really appreciate the time.
No, thank you, Mackenzie, for that great presentation. And as you can tell everyone, the platform is so easy to use. I was jealous that I don't have a business, so I can create one and just, but I will be assisting clients who need help with setting it up, or if they just want someone to in person. Oh, but maybe Mackenzie, you can talk to them a little bit about the customer service feature.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully everything is very intuitive. It is built to be that way. But if you do have any questions, we have a live chat right here built into your portal. We also have a very significant support center at support.finli. Oh gosh. At support.finli.com. We have an entire help center built out with, step-by-step instructions on how to create an invoice, how to connect your bank account, how to issue a refund, with videos and a ton of resources there. So please feel free to leverage that. And then we do also have a live customer support center as well, if you'd like to call in with any questions.
I also have one question from the audience. After 1 year plan, if Chase does not renew the program, how
Yep.
much is the cost and what monthly plan do you offer?
Yeah, great question. I'm very optimistic that we will be able to continue our partnership with
Yeah.
them. But in the event that is not the case, or maybe if you have other, friends that are small businesses that aren't a part of PACE who are interested, the platform is $39 a month. Again, no additional transaction fees, no hidden fees there. So pretty affordable. And then we do also offer an annual plan for $397 a year. So you get about a 20% discount by doing the annual plan. We do also have, for again, anyone not part of this partnership, we do have a 30-day money back guarantee. So if they want to try it out for 30 days, if they're not happy or we don't meet their needs, we'll refund the subscription within that first 30 days.
So I just wanted to add that, so Finley specifically chose PACE because we know we have a captive small business community that has small business needs, and this is one of the biggest needs is keeping track of invoicing and just having an easy platform. So they chose us, so that I'm very grateful to Mackenzie and her team for selecting PACE. But I just want to encourage you, this is our second webinar promoting, telling people about the platform, telling people about the free membership for 1 year. But you can support Finley and support Chase's efforts to get Finley into more business owners' hands by helping us actually show that there's a great demand for the service. So I would invite you to, well, first hurry up and get your own account. Make sure that you have your own account. Like they say, put your air gas mask on first. So make sure you get an account. And then also, so the first phase is introducing the accounts to our community. Lori Shaw, the founder and of Finley, she met with us a year ago, and now we have the opportunity to roll this out through Chase. But we want to continue the process going. So you can greatly support that effort, because if you open an account, and I know our small business owners talk to each other, you have a small business owner, please encourage them to also open an account. In our phase 2, we're actually going to introduce the free account to all of PACE subscribers. It's over 14,000 subscribers. So that's why we want to make sure that you and your small business friends and family, make sure they get an account. And hopefully that will demonstrate to Chase that there's a great demand, and we'll be able to offer another batch of accounts, free accounts. So I just want to encourage you to do that. And other than that, I don't know if there's any more questions. But that's it for us. I know. Thank you for staying on till the end. You've been a great audience. Everyone today will receive a copy of the recording. I'm also going to send you the link. Oh, there's a question. What are the pros and cons for utilizing Finley versus QB? Other than processing fees, is it necessary?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Great question. I wish I had pulled up the full, actually, let's see.
Oh, regarding your question about, do you need to have a Chase business account?
No.
No, you do not.
Yep.
Yeah. There's no strings attached. It's free, completely free.
Exactly. We actually have such a helpful little diagram for you up here on our website talking about the differences between QuickBooks. First things first, this is just a really basic map here, but you can see quite a difference in terms of those processing fees on an annual basis. So, and you guys, of course, these numbers are zero over here. So a little bit more cost effective from a payment processing perspective, but also in terms of features, QuickBooks, again, does not give you the ability to pass that fee onto customers. They don't have auto pay for customers or recurring invoices or inventory management. There's a few other items here as well, but you know, obviously QuickBooks does offer the accounting features, which is great. And of course, you know, you need as a business owner, but the invoicing experience is pretty clunky and definitely makes it difficult from that CRM perspective as well. There's really no easy way to view your relationship with your customer and view, you know, all the payments and invoices that you've collected with them. I also don't know, and I'm happy to do a little bit more research and get back to you on this, Ray. I'm not sure what their automated reminder system looks like. So with Finli, and I should have probably thrown this stat in the deck here earlier, but I think it's something like 15% of services that are provided by a small business end up going unpaid for, simply because of, I believe, you know, the operational difficulty of tracking all the payments and tracking all the outstanding invoices, following up with everyone and making sure that, you know, oh, this payment failed and we need to collect a new payment method or whatever that looks like. I'm not sure what QuickBooks' automated reminder system looks like, but Finli doesn't really stop until we've made sure that you've collected payment for your service. So we handle a lot of that automation for you. Again, really just trying to make sure that you guys are getting paid for the amazing services that you're offering your customers and not having to spend, you know, 15, 20 hours a week trying to do all of that. So
Thank you. Oh, and thank you to Erica. She's already created
yay.
an account. She says she's loving it.
That
Glad
is
to,
great.
yeah, glad to be a part of that, Erica. And I just want to thank you again, Mackenzie. You've been great. It's been great working with you. Just, you know, so everyone knows, we are going to roll a phase 2, where we actually introduce the free subscription to all our PACE community. So I just want to make sure, oh, my video's off. Just want to make sure, okay, well, my video's not working. Never mind.
That's okay.
Just want to make sure that everyone that's on this webinar, this is our small business community, to take advantage of getting the free account. And just want to thank you all for coming today. And you will get the webinar recording, of course, the link if you missed it, and then also the list of payroll service providers. Not associated with Finli, but just some other providers that if you're interested in that type of service. Okay, thank you everyone for joining us. I hopefully we'll see you next Tuesday for the bookkeeping and accounting workshop. Okay, thank you everyone.
Amazing. Thank you all. Have a
Bye.
good one.